His office was invaded many times by infuriated citizens, the victims of his sarcasm, but they usually left in better humor without doing the editor bodily harm. Brown went from here to Duluth, where he held the position of night editor on one of the daily papers for a number of years. He died at that place while still in the prime of life. All right. His son was baptized in 1876, and here it is, 1885. There is not a single reference made to a family of any kind, wife or son.
Completely different town, too.
And a different, entirely different place. Holy mackerel.
Acclaimed actress Edie Falco is best known for her TV, film, and stage portrayals of tough female characters. Her performance as Carmela on the hit series The Sopranos earned Edie 3 Emmys, 2 Golden Globes, and 5 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Her current starring role in Nurse Jackie garnered Edie yet another Emmy, making her the first ever to win an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in both a comedy and a drama. Edie was born in Brooklyn, New York, and grew up on Long Island. She currently lives in Manhattan with her son Anderson and daughter Macy.
Family is very important to me, and it's happened more over time. I spent a lot of years on my own, trying to make a career for myself and sort of as a singular person. And I never thought about getting married as something I needed to do. And my parents had split up, so it wasn't a good argument for, go out and get married, kid. So it's a bit of a roundabout journey as far as my own idea of family is concerned.
Look, Mama.
I did give a lot of thought to my children who are adopted. My first thought was, do I tell them I'm going on a journey to discover my lineage? Is it about bloodline? And I looked up the word family. It's a group of people living under one roof with common morals, with usually a head of household. I have that. I grew up with an Italian father, and we spent a good deal of time at my dad's family's place doing what they had always done, Sunday dinners and holidays together and big extended family stuff. And we would occasionally go to my mom's side of the family, but my mom's parents died a long time ago, so there was less cohesion. It's definitely one of the reasons I am interested in taking this journey. I would certainly love to know some more information about where Mom comes from. So I am headed to my mom's house on Long Island to have a conversation with her about what she knows about my family.
Hi.
I'm hoping she may have some information to get me started on this journey. So, I am wanting to know more about your side of the family than I do.
Well, there is a bit to know, and the truth is I don't know as much as I might. But perhaps you can see something from this. This is something my cousin Linda made.
Oh, a family tree.
Okay, this is
Mom.
my mother and my grandmother, Nana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, her husband, my grandfather, we called him Pop-Pop. His name was George McGrath. As a matter of fact, I have a picture.
No way.
Yeah.
How did I never see this?
That's really how I remember him, but I barely remember him. I learned recently he comes from Wales.
Wow. Really?
Did you know that?
No.
And here's a little blurb about George.
Oh, I see. Florence Nana married a widower, George McGrath. McGrath was his mother's maiden name. Let me figure that out. McGrath was his mother's maiden name. Curious. His father's name was Brown. So, George McGrath's father. Sounds interesting. His mother left his father in Wales, and she went to America with her young son, George. Wowza. That's a ton more than I knew.
I'm wondering why George's mother left.
Yeah, I don't imagine that was the kind of thing that went on.
No,
back
certainly
then.
not then, no.
With little tidbits of information about your side of the family, but I don't know, I remember hearing about Wales.
I'm assuming he was born there. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was born there. But of course, I have no proof of anything.
But we know at some point, George and his mom were in New York.
Yes, I think so.
that might be a good place to start. That was a very helpful visit. My mother doesn't know much more than I do, but she knows enough to get the beginning of a story. My great-grandfather, George, took his mother's maiden name McGrath instead of his father's surname Brown. So who was this Mr. Brown? Is he really from Wales, and do I have any further family history there? Since my mom thinks that George was living in New York at some point, I am going to go to the New York Public Library to begin my search.
Welcome to the Stephen A. Schwartzman Library.
Thank you. I know that my mother's grandfather's name was George McGrath. He came over from Wales. That's what I know.
So let's go specifically into the census collection.
Okay. Oops. George McGrath. Great.
This is the 1920 census.
Okay. Oh, no way!
Here they are.
George McGrath. Florence is his wife. So it looks like during this time, George was 43 in 1920. He was born in 1877. This is wild. Wait a second. I see birth. He was born in Wisconsin? That doesn't seem right. I'm confused. He was born in Wisconsin. He was born in Wisconsin.
And you didn't know that about George?
No, I thought they said that they came from Wales together, but maybe she came here before he was born.
Well, let's keep going across. Because the next column here is where his mother was born.
New York?
So his mother
was born in New York. His father? What?
What does it say?
Wait a second. George's father was born in England? Is that what that says?
That's what it says.
And that's a separate country from Wales, right?
Yeah, that's right.
This is very surprising. So my mom's family tree was wrong. There's nobody from Wales. This is not at all what I expected. All right, let's see what else I can find on Ancestry.com. George McGrath, born in Wisconsin, about 1877? Oh, wow. George McGrath. Death, 1946. It says there's a story attached here. Okay, so what do we do?
Let's open this up, yeah.
George McGrath dies suddenly at hospital. Oh, my goodness. Mr. McGrath, who was 70 years of age, was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and had been an electrician during his active years. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Florence McGrath.
So this looks like, from what you know of your family, that this is the right McGrath.
Right. Wow. Seems like what you have is the stories that are passed down from generation to generation. It's like the game of telephone. By the time it gets to being written on a family tree 100 years later, you're going to have a lot of details that are skewed. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
George was not born in Wales. He was born in Wisconsin. And this mysterious Mr. Brown, whose name George seemingly didn't want to have, did not come from Wales either, but from next door in England. Well, I hope that Milwaukee, where George was born, will give me some more clues. I never thought I would find myself in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, especially when searching for my roots. Lo and behold, here we are. Moira suggested that I visit Milwaukee's All Saints Cathedral because it holds a lot of the city's baptismal records for the late 1800s. So if they have George's record there, I'm hoping it could give me some more information about his English father.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Christy.
Hi, Christy Edie. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. What can I do for you?
I am trying to figure out where my great-grandfather was born. Thinking 1870s.
Let me go have a look. I'll go see if I can get my hands on the right book and we'll get you started.
Great, great. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, I've got the book from the Range of Years You're Thinking.
Oh, my goodness.
And I've set a marker where the baptisms start.
Wow. Okay.
And they were pretty diligent about writing in most of the information, so.
Let me see. George McGrath. George McGrath.
You've got it.
That's it.
Edie Falco is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, looking into her mother's side of the family. She just found her great-grandfather George McGrath's baptismal record from 1876 and is hoping it will give her more clues about George's father, a man she knows only as Mr. Brown.
George McGrath, born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh, wow. March 21st, 1876. Surname Brown. So according to this, he did take the name Brown, at least at baptism. And according to my family tree, the name was not really attached to him in any way, but his dad, Charles Childs Brown, Mary McGrath Brown. Charles Brown? Up until now, he's been this sort of shadowy figure that we didn't know much about, except that maybe his wife left him.
Well, in fact, it says sponsors or witnesses, and it looks like Charles C.
Brown?
The parent is listed. It looks like he was actually present.
Oh, you're kidding? Wowee. That is trippy. George's father is obviously here. So now I actually have a name of George's father, this Charles Childs Brown, was at least at this point still a part of George's life, which is fills in a little piece of the mystery. But why would George stop using his father's surname? That seems strange. And I want to know what could possibly cause such a rift between my ancestors. To find out more information about Charles, Christy suggested that I go to the Milwaukee County Historical Center. They have an extensive collection of historical records as well as community documents. Hi.
Hi.
I'm wondering if you can help me. I am trying to track down a relative, and I know that he was here in 1876 attending the baptism of his son.
Okay.
His name is Charles Childs Brown.
Well, a great resource is Milwaukee City Directories. Those were produced every year from 1847 to present. So if you want, I can pull those for you.
Great, thanks.
So here are some city directories for you to look through, see if you can find them anywhere in there. While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and look and see if I can find them on a census record.
Oh, great, thanks.
Yep.
$1869-70, Charles A. Charles C. Apprentice, Milwaukee News. So, about 6 or 7 years before his son George was born, Charles was here in Milwaukee working at a local paper.
Okay, I went through and searched the census records, and I didn't find Charles Brown anywhere in Wisconsin after 1870 at all.
Wow, okay.
No, nowhere. But so I thought to myself, well, maybe surrounding states, you never know. So I found a C.C. Brown in an 1885 census in Little Falls, Minnesota.
C.C. Brown, 32-year-old male from England. There does not appear to be anyone else living in the household with him, as he is the only one with the Brown last name here, and he's from England. So that is certainly compelling. We don't know for sure that this is him, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't always tell. So what I did is I did some searching, and what I found is a reference to a historical sketch of Royalton, Minnesota. And Royalton was only 10 miles away from Little Falls.
A historical sketch. What does that mean, even?
It could just be basically a description of a city, a town, maybe
I
list
see.
some of the people that were there.
Royalton's first newspaper. In the year 1885, Royalton felt the need of a newspaper. Charles C. Brown, oh my goodness, who at the time was working at Little Falls, came down to look the town over, working at Little Falls. So that is indeed the C.C. Brown
Right.
on the census. Wow. C.C. Brown, the founder of Royalton's first paper, was a man of wide experience in both country and city papers. He was not only an expert printer, but a brilliant writer. He had the reputation of making news where there was no news. He delighted in a battle of words with other country papers, wrote many scathing articles directed at contemporary editors. His office was invaded many times by infuriated citizens, the victims of his sarcasm, but they usually left in better humor without doing the editor bodily harm. Brown went from here to Duluth, where he held the position of night editor on one of the daily papers for a number of years. He died at that place while still in the prime of life. All right. His son was baptized in 1876, and here it is 1885. There is not a single reference made to a family of any kind, wife or son.
Completely different town, too.
And a different, entirely different place. Holy mackerel. C.C. Brown was quite an interesting character. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
thanks.
you. I am very curious about where Mary and George are in his own personal history. Did he have other wives and other kids that he also left behind? A lot of questions about this man, and as more things are answered, more questions appear.
Edie Falco is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, following the trail of her great-great-grandfather, Charles Childs Brown, a newspaperman from the late 19th century.
I just read a historical sketch about Charles's life, and it's sad to see that there was no mention of his wife or of his son. It seems like Charles was written out of the family tree that my mother had, and now it appears that Mary and George were written out of Charles's life as well, and I want to know why. Amanda put me in touch with historian Dr. James Mueller, who's been researching Charles Childs Brown, so I'm meeting him back at the Milwaukee County Historical Center. I'm going to see if I can shed some light on this disconnect in my family. So I'm trying to track down information about my great-great-grandfather, Charles Childs Brown. As I'm getting a little bit of a picture of the professional life of this man, I'm still very curious about his family life. And I was wondering if you found anything.
Yeah, I've been doing some reading about him, and I have an article here from the Duluth Daily News about his son, and it's down here at the bottom.
Oh, no. Wow, C.C. Brown, the well-known newspaperman, received a dispatch yesterday announcing the sad death of his son, George McGrath Brown, at or near Albany, New York yesterday. The young man was struck by a surface car. He was between 16 and 17 years old. So let me see, this is 1892. How could that be? That can't be true. I have actually seen a photograph of George McGrath Brown in his 70s or 80s. It's very unusual that this would be printed here, and it's his own paper.
Newspapers often jump the gun with news. I mean, even Mark Twain, there was an obituary published about him, and that's when he said the famous line, "Reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated." So,
Okay, all
maybe
right.
his death was exaggerated.
And he says he's 16 years old and died? It would never occur to me that he made it up. I don't know.
I don't know, it's kind of a mystery, but we know from this story that his son was living near Albany, New York.
Okay, yes.
And I have an article here from the Albany Evening Journal that may shed some light on this. And it's this story here that says, heirs found.
In Albany in 1905, heirs found for supposed intestate. Sister Catherine Brown, sounds like a nun, died intestate at St. Margaret's home in Troy, January 25, 1902. It was supposed at the time of her death that she left no heirs. Charles C. Brown was the son of Sister Catherine Brown. He died at Duluth in 1899, leaving a widow. Oh. So Charles's mother, my 3 times great-grandmother, was Sister Catherine Brown. She died in 1902, about 3 years after her son Charles died. And although they thought she had no heirs, Charles' son George showed up to claim the estate. The article also reveals a lot more about Charles. Charles Brown's first wife obtained a divorce from him in Minnesota. That's George's mother, Mary. Okay. Afterwards, Charles C. Brown married again, and by his second wife had 2 children, both of whom are now living in Chicago. This wife also obtained a divorce from him, and Charles C. Brown married his third wife. The third wife also obtained a divorce from Charles C. Brown, and he again married in Minnesota. Wow. First wife obtained a divorce from him in 1878 in Minnesota. That's got to be Mary. 2 years after George was born. So he was a 2-year-old. Wow.
Divorce was pretty common among newspaper men back in those days. The life was really hard. They worked really long hours, and they drank heavily, tended to. They believed in those days that it was a stimulant that would help them keep working those long hours.
Mm-hmm. And I keep doing to myself, like, is he a good man or a bad man? And I have sort of, he was probably a regular man with a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Having gone through my own parents' divorce, you know, ask any kid who went through it. It really does shake you to your core. George was too. It makes me feel for him. And it's hard to say if the article saying that George had died was the moment of sort of estrangement between George and his dad, C.C. Brown. But on some level, the emotional image I get of this man sort of makes me sad a little bit, because nobody really quite wants to put their roots into him and to say that he's a part of their family.
Edie Falco is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, researching her mother's side of the family. She just discovered the name of her 3 times great-grandmother, Sister Catherine Brown, which takes Edie back yet another generation.
So the Sister Catherine Brown is a new name, the mother of Charles C. Brown. And she died in 1902, and the census records have been a big part of helping to find people. So maybe I could track her down in Troy, New York, maybe in 1900. Let me see. 1900, United States Federal Census. First and middle name would be Sister Catherine?
Sister Catherine, yeah.
Oh my goodness, okay. Sister Catherine, yeah, Sister Catherine, Troy. Birthplace at sea? What? Mother's birthplace, England. That's incredible. So at sea, we don't know where at sea or from where to where.
No, that was fairly unusual.
Mother's birthplace, England, and Charles born in England. I think I have to go to England to find out some more. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. Good luck with your search.
Thank you. The idea that Catherine was born at sea is very unusual and sort of dramatic kind of seeming. And how traumatizing, I guess, for the mother to be that pregnant and heading overseas. It puts to mind a whole sense of tumult and anxiety. It's opened up a whole new set of questions that I have about my family further back. In England, I have a lot more I want to know about where it all started there. So I found a family historian who's asked me to meet her in London. All I have is Sister Catherine Brown's birthplace as at sea, and I don't know her maiden name. So I'm hoping I can find out more information about her through her son, my great-great-grandfather, Charles Childs Brown. Hello. Yes, you, Joe. Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Welcome to London.
Sure, thank you. I'm at Fulham Town Hall to meet with Joe Foster, who's managed to track down Charles's birth to this part of London.
So this is one of the registries that's held here at Fulham, and we'll see if you can find your great-great-grandfather.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Oh, will you look at this? Births, 1853. Okay. June, July, August. Ah!
Got him.
Charles Childs, born August 16th, 1853. Name and maiden surname of mother, Catherine Brown, formerly Kindley. I have a census that says that she was born at sea.
Right, okay.
Which is very interesting to me. So now I know that Charles's mother, Sister Catherine Brown, was born Catherine Kindley. So now I want to find out more about Mom.
What I would suggest is, this birth is in 1853. What we should do is look in the 1841 census to see if we can find her as a girl.
Okay. First name is Catherine. Now wait, they had her as a C-A-T-H.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing.
I'm going to suggest that you try the name Kate as a variant of Catherine.
Oh, wow. Kate Kindley, born in Cornwall, England. Wow. They said she was born at sea.
Have a look on the View record to see if it's the right person or not.
Let me see
So
here.
up top is the name of the town.
Penzance? Penzance?
It's Penzance.
Oh, as in the pirates of.
Quite.
Sorry.
No, that's where it is.
Let's see. Kate, age and sex, 10 years old.
And can you see who she's living with?
Okay, so, oh wow. Jane Childs, who is 69, perhaps a grandmother, because it's Charles Childs Brown that started this whole search here. Seems pretty clear that this is all part of the same history, family history.
But Kate's the only Kindley.
Huh. So it seems nobody on this census is a parent of hers. It does seem unusual that she's not living with her parents.
It's obviously not what you would expect to see necessarily.
No, for a 10-year-old to be living with people who aren't her parents, that's interesting.
It makes it interesting.
Yes, for sure. So to find out more about Kate and where she was actually born, what would you suggest I do? Where should I go?
Well, I think the best place for you to go is Penzance in Cornwall and do some local research there and dig into some records that aren't held centrally.
Great.
Good luck in the next bit.
Travelling with luggage today, could you please safely stow that using the overhead racks wherever possible so that your luggage is close to you.
We are going to, oh my gosh, all the way at the very, 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 very tip. It's incredibly exciting and somehow unnerving to actually be able to track down the records of family members. These people actually existed. Makes it much more real. It's hard not to feel emotional about it. I cannot imagine leaving my own kids, so why is little Kate Kindley living without her parents at 10 years old? And is there any truth to the story that she was born at sea?
Edie Falco was in Penzance, England, trying to find out why her 3 times great-grandmother, Kate Kindley, was living here without her parents at just 10 years old. She is meeting with archivist Chloe Phillips at the local library.
Chloe?
Hi.
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 I'm Edie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I'm trying to track down some information about Kate Kindley. I know she was 10 years old in 1841.
Okay. If she was baptised in Penzance, we should have a record of that. So I'll go and get that and we'll see if we're in luck.
Great, okay. Thank you.
You want to take a seat?
Thank you.
Okay, we've got this one. Just get a cushion and some gloves.
Okay.
If you want to pop them on.
Ah.
If you want to have a look through, see if you can find Catherine.
Okay.
The best way to look is down the surnames.
I see, yeah. Kindley.
Oh, there we go.
Catherine, what does this say?
Daughter of.
Daughter of Ralph and Dorothy Kindley. Wowee. Lives in Penzance. Master mariner?
Yeah. So he was quite a good job, Ralph Kindley.
In the States, there was a census, I think it was, that said that she was born at sea.
Okay.
Any way of finding out any more about that?
Certainly not from this record.
Okay.
But the fact that her father was a master mariner meant
Very interesting.
could have been with him.
Right.
And his wife could have been pregnant and
Oh my
on the ship with
gosh.
him.
A master mariner is the captain of an ocean-going commercial ship, and Ralph Kindley sailed during the British Imperial Century, a time in which England was thriving and boasted the largest merchant fleet in the world. British vessels brought manufactured goods to her colonies and other foreign ports, and then sailed home with valuable raw materials and exotic imports. For master mariners like Ralph Kindley, it was a lifestyle as well as a career, and often meant spending most of their lives at sea.
I saw on a census in London that Kate Kindley was living with what appeared to be her grandmother. It was Jane Childs, and she was 69 when Kate was 10. There's no reference made to her parents. Is there any way of finding out more about them?
Well, we've got a newspaper archive here, so I can go and have a look, because if anything had happened to them, that would record day-to-day events. If you want to wait here, I'll go and rummage around in the basement.
That'd be great, thank you.
Okay.
Ralph and Dorothy Kindley. All right, Dorothy Kindley. Ralph Kindley was a master mariner.
Okay, I found something that might answer part of your question. This is a bound volume of newspapers, so they're all original from the date they were published. So this is our local newspaper that still runs today.
The West Britain and Cornwall Advertiser. March 8th, 1833, that's unbelievable.
If you turn over the next page.
Next page, okay.
Look down here.
Oh, so died lately at Devonport, aged 28 years, Mrs. Kindley, wife of Captain Kindley of Penzance and daughter of the late Mr. Childs. Ah, she was a most amiable woman, truly beloved by her friends and connections and respected by all who knew her. Well, that explains why Mom wasn't living with them.
This is only 2 years after
the baptism.
As well.
But then there's still Captain Kindley.
Still the mystery of Dad.
The whole Kate Kindley story just breaks my heart. I mean, the connection you make to your mom is huge. I mean, huge. And to have that taken from you as a young kid, I just don't know if you ever get over it. But I would like to know what became of her father, what connection they may have had after the death of her mother, Dorothy, or if there was any. Yeah, still a lot of questions I have. So I've contacted a historian named Sam Willis. He has asked me to meet him in Charleston, so that's where I'm headed. Hi, Edie.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Edie.
Thank you so much for meeting me.
That's all right. I couldn't think of a better place than here to tell you about the life of a master mariner.
Okay, great.
Ready to come aboard? I can tell you about him?
Oh, you bet. Sure.
We're going to be going out there.
Oh my gosh. It's absolutely spectacular. Wow.
Well, welcome aboard the Earl of Pembroke. She's a three-masted bark and typical of the vessel your four-times great-grandfather would have been captain of.
Is that right? Holy mackerel. Oh my gosh. This is eerily familiar to me, this sort of atmosphere. I grew up in a town on Long Island, which has a harbor, and the sound of the gulls and the feeling of the air is actually very familiar to me.
Would you want to go for a sail?
Yes. Yes.
Come on, guys, let's take her out.
So Captain Ralph had a daughter named Kate. I saw on a 1900 census, it said she was born at sea. Now, would such a thing be possible?
Very much so. Rather depended on sort of the moral code of the captain about whether he would allow women on board.
As he was the captain.
He was the captain. That suggests that he didn't have a problem with it, and it means that if Dorothy was on board with him, which she obviously was giving birth to Kate, it's likely there may have been other women on board as well. You can think about it two ways. One is that she was pregnant ashore and he decided to bring her on board so he could be with her during the birth.
I see.
So that's one way of thinking about it. But I think that's unlikely if she was not used to being on board a ship to then bring a very pregnant lady on board a heaving ship. So it's much more likely the fact that she gave birth on the ship, I think, is that she was used to being on board the ship. I think she's actually chosen to spend her life at sea with her husband.
Wow. Interesting.
So do we have an idea of roughly when Catherine was born?
I know she was baptized in October of 1831.
Well, what we can do is, by looking at the records of where Captain Kindley was, we can get a sense of where he might have been at the time.
Oh, wow. Lloyd's List. 1831, okay. Lord Cochrane. Kindley, New Orleans.
So Captain Kindley is on a ship called the Lord Cochrane.
I see.
He has sailed from London and he has arrived in
New Orleans. Ah.
So it's most likely that Catherine was born on that voyage.
Oh my heavens. Wowza. So the census that I saw, when Kate was 10, she was living with a 69-year-old woman I'm assuming is her grandmother. We know that her mother passed away when she was 2. Captain Ralph was not living in that home in Penzance either. Where was he? And I wonder how his wife died.
In searching through these documents to try and find Ralph Kindley's ships and the dates that he sailed on them, I came across his name in a list which was held by the New York Public Administrator. And this is what they sent through.
In the matter of the administration of Ralph S. Kindley. Ralph S. Kindley, mariner dead. Oh no.
Edie Falco is in County Cornwall, England, sailing on a ship very similar to one her 4 times great-grandfather, Ralph Kindley, once captained in the 19th century. She's just read that Ralph died suddenly, leaving his young daughter, Kate Kindley, behind.
Ralph S. Kindley, mariner dead. Oh my goodness. I feel like it just happened. 1840. October 1840. Ay, ay, ay. So she lost both of her parents before the age of 10. Ralph S. Kindley died on or about the 20th day of July on the voyage from the coast of Africa to this port of New York. That said intestate was master of and died on board the schooner Africanus of fever. He was a native of England, has no relative or next of kin residing in this state. Oh, that's so awful.
The coast of Africa was renowned for fever, so mariners knew it was a dangerous place to go.
Right.
It's likely he was buried at sea. Usually it was the captain who would have held the service, but he was the captain, so someone had to step up and probably take charge of a funeral service, and then would have said a few words and slipped him into the sea.
Unbelievable.
So being buried at sea...
Sort of not quite of any particular land or something, or...
Well, it was his home as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually very apt for someone who spent their entire life...
In some way it is. It is.
On a ship.
So many dimensions of the picture have come together now. It feels like reading a good book. And then to discover that he was my great-great-great-great-grandfather, captaining a ship not unlike the one I'm standing on right now. It's very intense. The part that really does get to me is little Kate. She only had one parent at that point waiting for him to come back, and that he would die en route to a place so far from home, it knocks the wind out of me. How sad that is, that a man she probably missed most of her life was gone forever and she had nothing to remember him by. It's very disheartening. It makes me very sad for the girl that was Kate. I sort of wished I could have been there for her. I have a lot to give, and she had a lot that she needed. I tend to believe that so much of family is about nurture. George, having seen the way his mother struggled, I'm sure had some impact on the way he treated women, and little Kate Kindley was an orphan, and that may have impacted her ability to connect to people. It really clarified for me what family really means, which has very little to do with what country your great-great-great-great-grandfather lived in, and more about what emotional clouds you were surrounded in as you grew up. And that meant a great deal to me. It made me feel so much more solid about having adopted kids, and it really is more about the people who have loved you and cared for you.